welcome back to They Did What? Your source of internet's craziest, most entertaining stories where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to hear a story titled, My Girlfriend Said I Did Bad Things, on Facebook, and got mad when I gave my side of the story. Am I the a-hole? And a shout to Joe for sending this story. And guys, this story, just like the title says, you're going to see involves a very unhinged girlfriend. This guy has been with her for 3 years. He's 30 years old. She's 29. They live together, it sounds like. And long story short, she went on Facebook because she's really, really mad at him and saying he did all sorts of awful things that, it could get a guy arrested and destroy his life. Because, wait for it, he helped her, or shall I say, removed, while she was asleep, a pimple on her cheek. Turns out that she had gotten one recently, and he thought it was kind of gross, and she wouldn't do anything about it. So finally, when she was asleep, he removed it with a hot washcloth, that type of thing, and she went wacko. And this story is a perfect example, guys, of how, let me tell you, if you start seeing the red flags that there's crazy in there, and the relationship, and most certainly don't move in with them, because there's no way in 3 years this is the first time this guy's seen the crazy. But how these gals, these unhinged types, the lows they will go to get even with a guy who they think is doing them wrong, whether it's true or not, and how guys' whole lives can be destroyed because of just one simple, her saying one thing. It's unbelievable. You got to be careful. It's nuts. So, it starts off, oh yeah, guys, if you haven't done it already, come join me on X, formerly Twitter. Really trying to grow it over there, and I think you definitely will enjoy it. The handle's SSM Channels. Okay. It says here, I, a 30-year-old male, have been with my girl, a 29-year-old female, for 3 years, and I love her with all my heart. Smack! Yeah, I hope you don't love her now. For the past several days, she's been giving me the silent treatment and acting like she hates me, outright ignoring things I say unless it's necessary to communicate. Newsflash, gentlemen, if your girlfriend is the silent treatment type when she's mad at you, as in doesn't want to communicate like an adult, break up immediately, because that is going to be a nightmare. That is the classic manipulation beyond anything I can describe, the silent treatment. Leaving her room when I enter it, glaring at me and shutting doors when she's on the phone, and slamming cupboard doors, throwing food. I'm cooking in the trash if I walk away from it too long. She's throwing the food that he's cooking in the trash, slamming cupboard doors, slamming doors, leaving the room, giving him the silent treatment. Oh, what a joy. And he says he loved her with all his heart. Now, either he loves her or did love her, I'm not sure. But, yeah, this sounds like a great girlfriend. That is all because I, quote-unquote, took advantage of her while she slept and then embarrassed her publicly. Please reverse judgment until I explain the situation. It says, about 6 months ago, I noticed a blackhead on her cheek. In other words, a pimple, a zit. It looked like it could probably be popped back, but then I didn't say anything. I figured when she washed her face, she'd take care of it. Well, she never did. It started small, but over time, it grew into a raised, dark plug on her cheek that could not be ignored and was very visible and was making me nuts. Okay, so unless she has a hard time seeing things, I don't know what, she's well aware she has this ever-growing pimple that's looking gross on her cheek. Now, why would any gal, self-respecting gal, not deal with that immediately or put some cover-up on something, right? I'm sure the 4% of women that watch this are like, what? Probably because, one, she's nuts, but two, just to make things difficult for this guy. Probably to keep him turned off so he doesn't touch her. I don't know. I asked her, practically begged her to let me pop it off, but she refused, insisting it was an evolving beauty mark. No, honey, that ain't a beauty mark. I paid for us to go get facials together, and the technician asked her if she wanted to extract it, and she gave her damn beauty mark line. It ain't a beauty mark. She's doing this on purpose. Well, fast forward to 1 week ago. So this has been going on for 6 months. I don't know how, the shower and scrubbing hasn't gotten rid of this thing. We went out with her sisters dancing and drinking and had a great time. When we got home, she laid down and passed out from the margaritas. I was removing her earrings, taking off her shoes, and wiping her makeup off with the little face towels. She has told me to do this if she falls asleep without doing it herself, and has been mad when I let her sleep, not ready for bed. Can you see this guy really is her manservant in so many ways? Wipe off my makeup, butler, or I'll get mad at you. And I saw the damn blackhead. It almost looked like I could yank it out with tweezers. I know it was wrong, but I couldn't help myself. I placed a warm compress on it, and she didn't wake up. I washed my hands, grabbed a little sterile lancet, I barely scratched the surface, and gently squeezed. It came out one glorious intact piece. Well, that's disgusting. It didn't bleed. The skin was slightly pink, but then was gone before morning, and her cheek looked perfect as though it was never there. Okay. Now, in fairness, people are going to argue, you should have left it alone, but he was turned off by it. But he didn't do anything horrible to her. He didn't harm her. You all get the point here. Well, the next morning, over breakfast, I confessed, expecting her to maybe be very annoyed at worst. Instead, she flipped out. She ran to the bathroom mirror and gasped and said, "What is wrong with you? You just helped yourself to poking and prodding me while I was unconscious. What else did you do?" Really? That she's getting that worked up about it? I think it was a control thing. Let me guess. Now she's going to think he did other things while she was asleep. Well, the rest is a blur of us arguing and me apologizing profusely. Smack! Dude, after all this crap, why aren't you walking out and packing up? You should have been doing it before 6 months. You're looking at that gross thing growing on her face. She didn't seem that angry anymore after 2 days, and I thought she got over it. No, she didn't. Well, she never got over it. A friend of mine texted me to ask me what the F was going on in my house because she was posting status updates that she blocked me from seeing, implying she was not okay. The updates were as follows. Hold on. Of course, she's broadcasting this over social media because, nothing ever happens in this world unless it's broadcast over social media. Like the whole, if a tree falls in the forest and you don't hear it, did it really fall? That type of shit. She's posting the following things, saying trust is a fragile thing. Once broken, is never repaired. Or being betrayed in your most vulnerable state will change your perspective. Or sometimes the one who claim to love you the most are the ones who violate you the worst. This is shit she's putting on Facebook. Not actually saying, my boyfriend did this. It's these little hints and being coy. When I used to be on Facebook, sometimes I see people I was acquainted with do stupid shit like that. And I quickly stopped associating with them. The drama queens. Because they wanted people to write in and say, "What's wrong? Let me know. How can I help?" You know what I'm talking about. These fucking assholes. Cue to the barrage of concerned comments. See? Suckers and idiots. A couple friends posted the RAINN hotline for her. At least 3 people demanded she name the person who had hurt her. Her best friend, who I thought was my good friend too, even posted, "If this is about Joe," let's just say his name's Joe, "I swear to God he's dead." There were too many comments for me to repeat, speculating, and my name was brought up. This is why she did that. She loved the drama. And this guy said at the beginning that he loved her. Either loved or love. I'm not quite sure which, past tense or present. She never corrected anyone either. The most I saw was responses saying, "DM me and if you don't want to talk publicly." And she liked the RAINN comments. At this point, I was in full WTF mode. Finally, I commented under a friend's account and said the following. He says, "Hi, this is," let's say it's Joe. "All I did was pop a blackhead. That's it. A come down. A clogged pore. That's the violation we're talking about. Grow up," to his girlfriend's name. He said people who've been offering her emotional support were both amused and not so amused. Some of the highlights are, somebody said to her, "Wait, you mean the evolving beauty spot?" Laughing my ass off. Thank Bob that thing needed to go. See? Okay, we'll call him Bob. Another one says this is what you're talking about? SMDH, you play too much. Glad that people were giving her shit about her bullshit. Another one says, "Okay, I thought this was about something actually serious. The last conversation we had, she said she was furious at me for embarrassing her and making her look dramatic. She says I had no right to touch her face without permission, and she feels deeply violated. I get that, and I'm sorry, but I don't think it's okay for her to make it sound like she was had bad things happen to her, and allow people to speculate it was me and not correct them." Right. See, while she didn't say Bob or Joe, whatever the hell his name is, did this to me, and then, but just these stupid things like, it's like people posting on Facebook, so sad, or some stupid thing where people, why, what's wrong? And she knew what she was doing. I also don't think I should be treated like how she's treating me now. She threw away a meal I cooked for the both of us. I still prepare a plate for her when I cook, even if she's mad. Well, you know what? Smack for that. She's acting like an asshole. Don't cook her food. Because I walked away to open some windows. When I confronted her, she locked herself in our bedroom for the rest of the night last night. So am I the a-hole here. Dude, you're the a-hole if you spend one fucking minute with her past the time you posted this story and everybody's telling you to get out. She's nuts, okay? Putting aside the whole quote-unquote beauty mark thing, how she's behaving you, putting on social media, making everybody think that you did some very awful, illegal, get your ass arrested type of things. Yeah, she's nuts. And her way of resolving problems with the silent treatment and throwing food away you just cooked and slamming cupboard doors and probably a whole lot of other things. No, this is not girlfriend material. And there is no way that she wasn't behaving in various crazy manners beforehand. You said yourself when you all go out and she get drunk, she would order you to wipe her makeup off and stuff like that, like you're her freaking servant. You're nuts for that. And taking her shoes off and taking, what, you rub her fucking feet too? Wash your feet too in bed? Seriously? She's nuts. And then she deliberately had that thing growing on her face all this time. I can't think of any self-respecting, attractive young woman that isn't unhinged that would do that. Okay? Her beauty mark my butt. She's doing it to control you. And now all this, yeah, we could probably go back and forth debating. Maybe you shouldn't have touched her, on that. But it wasn't that big a deal. But of course, mountain out of a molehill. She's freaking crazy. Get rid of her. Because guess what? This is just the beginning. You stay with her, there's going to be more crazy. And why would any self-respecting guy that has anything worthy to offer to the world, let alone the opposite sex, put up with this shit? Unless he thinks this is what love is. Unless he probably grew up in a family where there's drama and turmoil with the parents, so this is normal to him. Or he has such a low self-opinion of himself that this is all he thinks he's worth. Dump her. Move on. I don't care if it's been 3 years. Find a way out of there. I don't know how much time is left in your lease, but believe me, it's worth it figuring out a way to get out of there instead of being with her. And I might add, when you get out of there, take all your stuff out of there because, holy crap, she's going to destroy it. So guys, there you go. This is why you don't feel bad for them. This is why you don't feel bad for the wackos. And you got to do your homework on the gals that you get involved with. Certainly move in with. And here we go with the sirens. It's been a long time since you heard this channel. But anyhow, guys, there you go. Now, a few comments. No, actually, a number of comments. A lot of people are saying the same thing. One guy says here, it's incredible to me. Oh, this is his comments. He has a couple more he threw in here. He says, it's incredible to me. It's incredible to me anyone, let alone multiple people, are referring to her behavior towards me as abuse. I need to consider that carefully. Dude, you don't think that her behavior isn't that? I'm taken aback by how much support I've received. I thought there was a decent chance I was going to get universally shredded for being a bad actor here. So he doesn't get the way she's behaving is harmful. Another one, he says, I'm shocked multiple people are describing what she does as abuse. This is another one. It's astonishing. She has told me multiple times I'm being ridiculous or thinking any of this needs to be addressed with therapy. I threw dinner away, boo freaking who. I didn't attack you, she said. People do shit when they're mad. Stop being a bitch, she would say to me. It is literally something she said to me. I never called names as general rule, but I lost my cool and said, you're the only bitch here. And she tossed a cup of wine in my face. Dude. So see right here, this guy obviously has a low self-esteem, low self-worth. He doesn't get that her throwing wine in his face is abuse and insulting him like that and diminishing his feelings and stuff like that amongst everything else. But as much as you want to smack him for being clueless, a lot of guys are like this because they've never had anybody tell them these things, even though it should be common sense. Or they grew up in a household, I guarantee it, where dad was probably treated in this manner. Or guess what? Wait for it, he was raised by a single MOM and didn't learn how to be a man. Now here's some comments. Someone says, insinuating an assault would be a deal breaker for me. I have family that have pulled this card and are like that. My mother being one of them. She tried to paint me in a negative light with family, even though I wasn't even in the same country as her at the time. And it's blown up in her face online. There's a few drama llamas. If you stay with her, something worse is likely to happen. Especially since she blocked you from seeing her post. Thank goodness this got out before you got married. I'd say it's time to make her an ex, work on your escape plan. Yeah, He needs to get out of there immediately. He needs to get out of there yesterday. And one more that says, not the a-hole, and I'd take a long, hard look at this relationship. She misrepresented herself and suggested that she was S-word, S-aid. I gotta be speaking code. You can figure out S-word, assaulted. Let that sink in. This could have had major impact on your career, your family and friend networks, perhaps even visits from the police or getting beat up by overzealous friends or family members of hers. Should you have touched it? Probably not, but she was majorly overreacting. And I'm sure this isn't the first time she acted similarly. I guarantee she acted like this before. If you don't think this is a cause enough to break up, I can only suggest you be very, very careful from now on. Keep evidence of everything. And then he says, you know what? Screw this. This is a breakup worthy. Can't be running around 24/7 with a body cam recording everything. Well, there you go. And the whole comment section is full of people advising him to get the hell out of Dodge. So if this guy doesn't end it with her and stays with her after all this, at this point, it's on him. A lot of people accuse me of being a victim blamer, but there's a point when somebody keeps putting themselves in the same situation with the same type of people or get out of it and stuff like that, that eventually they got to deal with some of the blame for the things that befall upon them. This girl is terrible and nobody should deal with this, but there are people that in some fashion are attracted to this type of behavior. I wish them all the best. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And guys, you find a good story you want to share, send it my way, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. And if it's a good one, I'll definitely cover it. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. Now, catch you next time.